Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are back on the update new power dev server, and it's time to have a look at the BF110 G4. This is a new BF110 which is coming to the German tech tree at rank 2 battle rating 3.7, and if you have a look at the tech tree, it will be sat folded with the G2. So you can bypass this one if you want, but I would say it is worth your time just because it has so many interesting mechanics on it. When we look at the armor values of this vehicle, has a little bit on the wing and a little bit also on the engines. Bulletproof glass of 58mm, which is really nice for the pilot, and then also he has a bunch of steel around him to try and keep him alive. Also some extra armor on the nose as well, so the main place to target is definitely the engines on this thing or the tail. There's a little bit of armor as well for the tail gunner, who is sporting a dual-mounted 7.92mm, the MG81, which is lovely to see. Some of the other things that this vehicle has, as you can see, it has a radar, which is absolutely huge on the vehicle itself, and it is one of those like close-range radars, which will give you an exact spotting of a target as you get closer and closer to it. It's one which is seen on some of the other machines for the Germans, like the Do 217s, which is nice, so it does work pretty well, especially in night battles. Then the engines this machine has are the DB605Bs. They are incredibly powerful and make sure that the BF110Gs are able to move around at a decent rate. 1280 horsepower max power with an even larger takeoff power. Then you have three crew, a pilot, a gunner, and then also another gunner which is dealing with the tail guns. There is fuel pretty much everywhere in the center, so shoot center mass on this machine and aim for the engines and you will do a wonderful job at killing this thing. And when it comes to weaponry, now it gets a little bit tasty. So first of all, this machine has two 30mm MK108s. These are in right here, the little stubby boys, and each of them have quite a lot of ammunition. One has 120, the other one has 135. Then on top of that, you get two lower 20mm MG151s as a stock configuration as the secondary weapons, but that can change into many more things, as you can see. You can bring along a 1000-kilo bomb, you can bring along a bunch of 50-kilo bombs, some 500s if you want, or even the rockets, the WFR GR21s, which have a decent amount of pen and also are angled upwards, so make sure to take account of that. You can also have even more 20mm on this thing, so let's see what that looks like, and you can see you have a double set of 20mm now, so therefore firing forwards you have the MK108s, two of them, and then four MG151s, and then you have the tail gunner in the back. So look at how much ammo you can bring. 255 for the 30s, 200 for the secondary 20s, 750 rounds for an extra set of 20s, and then, wait a second, that's right, there's more. Instead of just the forward firing guns and also the backward firing guns, you also have a set for Shrug music. So wherever somebody attacks you, unless it's below, well, you can bomb them, I suppose. So wherever they attack you from, you are able to respond in kind, which is really awesome. So Shrug music, 20mm all over the place, 30s, 7.92s. This thing is chock-a-block when it comes to what it can dish out. Just the amount of ammunition and amount of firepower that is all over this machine should be seen as an absolute triumph. If only when it came to the 30s they were MK103s instead of MK108s, it would even improve it even more. But the general fact that this thing has so much ammunition and so many guns means whenever you get these guns on target, you're going to be able to annihilate anything that is near you. So that is going to be really, really nice, at least in my opinion. So when it comes to the other characteristics, because it has the wonderful engines, it should fly pretty sturdily, and also I don't think it has access to any camos, no, not yet, which is a shame. It does have these cool exhaust pipes which basically mask the flame of the engines. Remember, this is basically a night fighter at the end of the day, which is why it has, you know, those ideas of, you know, night fighting. So it has stuff such as the radar and stuff like that. So we can have a look and see what it looks like in a battle. But generally, I'm really happy to see another BF-110. There are so many interesting BF-110s out there, and this one has a little bit of everything, which is, you know, what you should look for. You should look for machines which give you new experiences, which give you, you know, new things. And if we want to turn on the radar, once again, this is how the new radar thing works. So this is it off, this is it on. So you just basically, if you turn the radar off, it gets rid of all the stuff on the screen, which is really nice. And since this radar can't be changed, you know, that's basically how it is. So I think personally that's a really nice change. It clears up the UI a lot, which is, you know, what we're looking for. And then of course you have the 792s in the back with the beautiful little flames from the stuff. So you can see that it has the standard BF-110 updated cockpit that I believe they updated a little bit ago, and it's just really nice to see another one of these BF-110s in game. Why are those guys? Okay. Oh, I think they might have got hit by artillery, but I suppose we can show you some of the new effects here. As you can see. They look kind of nice, and when it comes to the new smoke effects as well and the shot effects, you can see them all there. So they've updated pretty much all of the graphical effects of many of the vehicles and how, you know, you shoot and how you look. And I don't know why I don't have traces right now. I feel like that might be a little bit of a bug of the machine, but you can see just the amount of firepower that we can put out on this machine. You can see how much is being destroyed by this. You can just absolutely decimate, desecrate, and annihilate all of these machines while also nearly staying alive. But that should show you the firepower of what is this BF-110. You could also see on the underside it has the black wing and also the standardized wing, so that's really nice to see as well. A nice little touch to the historical accuracy of the machine. You can also see all of the flames going down of the vehicles and also the smoke effects that are on these vehicles now. So there goes another wing. That is the mission objective completed as quickly as you want with this vehicle. I can't even imagine ever, you know, getting guns on target when it comes to an enemy in battle, because they will just get annihilated. And of course you have the Shrug music if you want to try and use it. You know, you got this right here, so you can just use it to try and hit fighters and do all of those wonderful things, and also crash into the ground as you're doing it because you're not paying attention, which is also something that you have to think about while going around. Oh dear. But yeah, it has access to Shrug music, it has access to a ton of guns, it has access to some bombs, so it does have a use in ground realistic. But what I really feel like this thing is going to really do well at is being a bomber interceptor, and also being able to create situations where when BF-109s and Focke-Wulfs go in, you can be that secondary fighter to finish something off. Even though the BF-110 is a twin-engined machine, it is very maneuverable for a twin-engine machine. So having this and having that extra maneuverability that you are not normally given for these types of machines just makes me really happy to see another one. The BF-110 in-game is one of those vehicles that I started with the version of it that is no longer in the game. It was taken out a while ago in favor of a different one, the F2, and I'm just glad to see another one added back in, just for the simple fact that it is just nice having more and more and more of these machines, so you can just decimate enemies with all of the firepower that they have. Whether it's from the front, whether it's from the back, whether it's from the top, everything should work extremely well with this machine. And as you can see, Even just the turn circle for a twin-engine fighter is incredibly small compared to many others, and it also is able to maneuver pretty much at any altitude and also nearly any speed, which gives it a lot of really nice stuff. You can see how we're just decimating all of these planes, just absolutely annihilating all of the Hamptons, and that is thanks to the wonderful BF-110 and also the MG-151s, which are just insane. Very good guns, backed up by some 30mm, backed up by some 7.92s, and backed up by some Shroud music. It's a great combo, it's lovely to see, and it just shows that with the new graphical effects, you can make anything look pretty, even in Demise. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Trigger Hippie, Universe, Conte Baraka, Elove Goat, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Hans, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.